Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic.
And I am Most Evil Life Form.
And we are still reacting to RWBY. This is season 5.
The last episode.
I think so, yes. It is 14. And we just discussed that it seems to be the last episode of this season. So, well, we are kind of afraid that there's no other big attack coming in.
But we will see.
Yeah, but we forgot to discuss one thing, especially just came to the mind of Most Evil Life Form after we finished recording. The fact that the portal that Raven opened, as the maiden that she is, did not lead into a real vault, but into like another world or another place on this world, maybe.
I mean, I don't think it's another place because you could see the stones which were like distorted of some kind. Do you remember that? When it was looking like it was dissolving, like the moon, where it was crumbling but staying in the position.
I mean, it is an option, and it would be a very interesting option if the portals of the main would lead to the moon.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
But if it was and the desert, like it was a yellow, it was not like a white.
It's yellow, desert. Yeah. It definitely looked more like a living place.
It could be somewhere on this on Remnant.
On the planet.
But I would also be a fan of if it would be another dimension of some sort, which would also like underline the theory that Salem is in another sphere, dimension.
I mean, when they created it, when they created the vaults and everything, they had access to all 4 stones at this moment because they hit the 4 fucking stones. It looked like some kind of a stone or whatever there was floating. The green thing.
The relic.
The relic, exactly. They had access at this moment, at least they said, to all 4 relics after the war. And then created the world and then created the academies, which they may have done using the stones, and they had the stone of creation. And of the stone, relic, the relic of creation and the relic of knowledge.
The question is, how much can you use as a mortal person? Because, I mean, it's still, the first king was something special, just like Oz is something special. It feels like there are sometimes fantasy worlds where the first one is the most powerful and the more generation follow. Because
the blood thins and it is maybe a blood thing or relation. Yeah, I can see. Well, even then, let's just guess Oz used it. And as being the wizard, he may have more access, more ability with the relics.
Which he lost over time and gives away.
By using it. Giving his powers away. So maybe he or someone else created like short pocket universes which look like that. Might be an option. Or like a portal to the moon or to any other place. Maybe it is just an illusion. Might be as well. Or maybe it's like a last test. Which, in my opinion, would be very fitting.
Would be very interesting, though.
If Oz would be the one who created. He wouldn't want... They stated in the past, people killed the maidens, and you wouldn't want such people to have incredible powers. So what do? They can open the vault, but what about a test that tests if you're worthy of getting...
What if the relic, for example, in Beacon, let's say it's complete black, and he just puts it in complete darkness, which is like, okay, this is hard to find. Something black in complete darkness, like the this other realm, but it's no light and everything, which could cause them to not find it. You know that he placed the relic in let's say call it a pocket universe, in where it's basically invisible.
It's just floating there.
Yeah.
Possible. Here it seems to be some kind of a desert. There were the same. It looked to me like the same 3 circles, which were on the other side of the portal. In the last circle, there was like a pedestal, I think, and something green floated on top of it.
Bluish.
Green or bluish, yeah. So, guessing this might be the relic, because we still do not know what it looks like, but it wasn't huge, at least. So, which makes sense, because you want to carry it. So, I guess we will go in and see what's going on now. So, here we go. It's RWBY Season 5.
Last
finale.
I'm surprised there is an opening.
Only the first episode never had him.
Yeah, but I usually see it also when no opening is there, that they have more airtime, you know, and more content than in the...
I see, to fit in more stuff. Yes, I can see that.
Heroes.
Still don't get over that, you know, about the grumpy crow.
I still like Crow's reaction at this one point where he was like, he represents all the audience at that moment.
Yeah, has to. Have you seen Sun in the last one?
I heard him. He was saying
yes.
that but he was not there.
He was not shown, right?
No, he was not shown. He was the one saying, "She came not alone."
I'm kind of afraid, by the way, to those of you, and we discussed it before, that this last episode will be kind of because I don't want to go out on a bad note. Ceasefire immediately! Well, those three guys.
Idiot. Right. They just need to be there.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you regret ever coming back.
More police are on their way, Adam. Huntsman too.
Still too afraid to face me on your own.
I'm here for Haven, not you.
Nice.
You are still afraid. And you should be. I've made powerful friends while you've been away.
Oh yeah? Where?
Tell me, does Blake make all of her classmates fight for her?
Nah, it's a volunteer gig. I'm just saying, for someone who claims to have such great friends, there doesn't seem to be a lot of people here willing to fight for you.
More than one troop.
Wow.
You can try and make me regret coming here, Adam. But honestly, I've got more important things to deal with.
That's a nice smack.
There he goes.
Wait!
But he's getting away! We can take
Oh.
No, we can't. He wants to lure us away so he can pick us off. We need to protect the school and the people here. Besides, now he can see what it feels like to run away. Thank you.
We all need help sometimes. I think there's a few people who could use yours.
Be careful.
No promises. You guys okay?
Surviving.
I don't know how that big guy's still standing. He recharges his aura faster than I've ever seen.
He's sheer willpower.
We just need to get him to his limit.
Oh.
Are you hurt? No. I just remember you being more of the quiet one.
Not today.
All right. Well, what's the plan, Ruby?
Yeah, take out him first.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh,
You got your team fight again.
finally.
Or not.
Well, partial.
I warned you, Yang. I gave you every opportunity to walk away from Crow and Oz. So you can believe me when I say this wasn't personal.
You opened the vault.
Thanks to the chaos you and your friends caused upstairs. I knew you could handle it. You're my daughter, after all.
Crow and Oz told me how the Maiden powers were transferred. The girl you found. She would have had to have trusted you if you were in her final thoughts. Cared about you a lot.
I'm sure they told you plenty, and you just sat and obeyed.
No. I'm starting to ask questions like you said. So tell me, what happened to the last Spring Maiden? Did she die in battle? Was it sickness?
What does it matter to you?
I could already see the answer. It's all over your face. How could you?
She was scared when we found her. Weak. No matter how much training I put her through, she never learned. She wasn't cut out for this world. And with those powers, she would have been hunted her entire life. What I did
wasn't personal.
It was mercy.
Which is it, Mom? Are you merciful? Or are you a survivor? Did you let me walk into that trap because you knew I could handle it? Or because it meant you could get what you wanted?
It's not that simple. You don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. The choices I've had to make.
You're right. I don't know you. I only know the Raven Dad told me about. She was troubled and complicated, but she fought for what she believed in, whether it was her team or her tribe. Did you kill her too?
I've stared death in the face over and over again, and every time I've spat in that face and survived because I'm strong enough to do what others won't.
Oh, shut up! You don't know the first thing about strength. You turn your back on people. You run away when things get too hard. You put others in harm's way instead of yourself. You might be powerful, but that doesn't make you strong.
Who do you think you are lecturing me? Standing there shaking like a scared little girl.
Yeah, I'm scared. But I'm still standing here. I'm not like you. I won't run. Which is why you're going to give me the relic.
And why would I?
Because you're afraid of Salem! And if you thought having maiden powers put a target on your back, imagine what she'll do when she finds out you have a relic.
Yeah.
She'll come after you with everything she has. Or she could come after me. And I'll be standing there, waiting for her.
You don't want to do this, Yang.
Nope. But I'm gonna do it anyway.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Me too.
Yep.
What I meant.
This floor.
Yeah. Icons. So is everyone of Team RWBY getting one relic?
Might be an option. And it's fitting in color. Matches her arm.
thought for a second he had reload account.
Yeah, I thought so too, you know, it would be strangely fitting. Oh,
And
nope.
where might you be going?
Oh,
Wilson.
Your Grace. I was just looking for something.
The intro.
Leonardo, do you have something you wish to tell me?
It was Cinder. She altered the plan. Huntsman showed up here. Crow. Several students. One with the silver eyes. The White Fang attack. It was stopped. I don't know that they'll be able to recover the relic. Your Grace, I can still be of assistance. If I leave now, I can avoid the authorities and come find you. I'll do whatever it takes. Your Grace. Please, ma'am. I'll do anything. It'll be useful. Please.
Boring.
Coward.
Yeah.
That's enough! Just give up.
It's not over! Cinder will come back. She'll have the relic, and she'll stop all of you. She won't let us down.
They didn't show the fight.
Yep.
Yang.
Emerald, get up. We need to go. Emerald.
That, ooh, interesting. Okay.
What was that?
An illusion. But an accurate one. That was Salem.
Only one mind at a time.
Well, not anymore. Look who's there.
Yeah.
The police rounded up the remaining White Fang members. Haven is safe.
Unfortunately, it appears that Adam escaped.
It's okay. He was the only one to escape tonight. Those in the White Fang that followed him won't support a leader that abandons his people. He won't have their help after this. He'll have no one at all. And the White Fang will be left divided.
We've been fighting amongst ourselves for too long. Perhaps it's time for a new brotherhood. A new family for Fauna's, truly working towards a better world.
And they'll need a new leader.
Huh?
happened?
I don't know exactly. When I got down there, Cinder was gone. And Vernal was dead.
And Raven?
Gone.
Well, we're all glad you're still here, Firecracker.
Are you okay?
Little
I
bit
feel
of
like I should be asking you guys. So Blake, what are you doing here?
I was gonna ask you three the same thing.
That's a long story.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
That's all that matters. That we're all here together. Right?
You lost, you found, your heart to pin down.
Yeah.
I never know if you'll come through. Then you appear. Together we're here. And that's all that matters somehow.
I don't know how, but we did it, Oz. You okay?
I'm alright.
Kid?
He's resting. Too much energy fighting.
Oh, hey, don't strain yourself.
No. He had a message. We must get the lamp to Atlas.
So, next season Ed.
Sure. Fittingly fell unconscious after mentioning it.
I was expecting that he said something at that moment.
Well, it's very likely that there's after credit scene. Because there was money there every time. Yeah, it's very likely there's after credit scene if I see how much credit there is. Holy heck.
I think, didn't they say that there is material of new animation stuff too? So it's not, probably not all.
Well, okay. It's not so easy to analyze the lyrics right now.
Yeah.
So let's do it another time. Okay. I will lower volume of the recording. So you can hear the music while we're talking, but not too much. So well, yeah. It was a nice ending, but we discussed it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm hitting the microphone right now. We discussed it before. Seeing that it was the last episode, I already feared that it would be like just a wiping off the rest.
Finishing.
Yeah, just putting the storylines together, and it was like that.
And the wins were given.
Oh, so much given. I mean, so this was an elaborate plan made by Salem and her men, and I'm really disappointed.
Oh yeah.
That just made no sense. Especially that they brought in the group to fight him. I discussed this last time. They had Leo on their side. They got Raven and the Maiden. They should have just gone in, taken it out. It would have been without the influence or appearance of any of the other characters. We would possibly not even heard of it. So I can understand they wanted to show it, but it just made no sense.
it would have made more sense to like that they did it with Raven, that the thing escalates downstairs, Raven gets up with the relic and they needed to get the relic from her, and the others are just intervening or got caught in this fight.
Yes, and there are options, but there's just one major thing, and we discussed it already last time at the beginning of this time. It was said to be an attack on Haven. There was no attack.
No.
None.
There was
None at
no
all.
reason that so many people from Menagerie arrived.
It was just not necessary. I mean, it was the storyline so they could bring the White Fang out of it. So White Fang is over.
This is such a shame, actually. The White Fang was built up all this time and had
and now
so little.
It.
They had basically no meaning.
Yes.
In the end, this was really like a waste.
And I mean, I honestly ask myself why they didn't put in more White Fang members. I mean, the storyline, how it ended, was a little bit thin overall, but they could have put in at least some 100 White Fang members that were standing there, and that there were some of them fighting, or they were giving up because it's our relatives and Faunus as well, anything. But there were 6 White Fang members, and they were
maybe 7 or 8.
You know,
yeah,
it's just plain stupid. Sorry.
It's just the amount was so little.
I'm really. This is one thing that really gets me grumpy about this episode and season, because it was built up over the whole season that there will be an attack on Haven, and if I hear attack, and I see the last seasons before, I think about something that is at least similar to what we had in season 3, because this was an attack. Those were multiple hundreds.
We had seen burnt down villages. We have not seen Grim.
Oh, hello, Dad. Look who's there. Haven.
Interesting that she didn't.
Reported there and then flew.
Maybe.
Pretty sure. So one can guess she's possibly there right now. Okay, and now they have you know what's coming next. Okay. That's a nice picture. Well, what we said. There was no real attack, and
the best thing about this episode was the talk between Raven and Yang.
Yes, it was a nice one.
That was
really
everything in the vault happening in the last
2 episodes.
2
episodes.
Episodes.
And the one before, yes.
It was the best thing about it.
Yes.
The whole thing upstairs is
strange.
He's the positive one.
Strange. Yeah, so there was a nice talk, definitely. I just thought I will go with negatives and then go to positives later.
Not trying to make a mix.
Well, it's not easy.
I'm not allowed, I'm censored, so...
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, but the talk was nice. So I really liked that Yang pointed out that she is not afraid. She is afraid, but she's not running. Raven is running away. That is the thing about Raven. She is more neither what Blake was before. Raven is the one running away, trying to avoid facing Salem for all costs, and that's the major thing. She does it for all costs. She went away from her team. She sacrificed one of her tribesmen, as we've seen. I mean, she didn't know it would be happening, but she was aware something can happen.
I mean, I have issues with that. I agree. The thing is that they built her suddenly into this person who was like doing it for herself and not for the bigger picture.
No, she is still doing it for the tribe as well, no question. But she really believes Salem cannot be beat. That is the one thing she made clear.
She's scared of Salem.
Yes,
and
her powers.
Yeah.
She
She
killed the maiden. That is the thing that we know now. She killed the last Spring Maiden because she said
she was weak, or she was not prepared.
She could not have defended it, so I took it.
Which is also interesting because, you know, she was aware that this would put a target on her back. This is also, and I'm like, this is all not fitting together. On the same way, on one side, she is scared and doesn't want to have anything to do with it. On the other side, she is killing the Spring Maiden, puts a target on her back.
She still is aware that if Salem gets these powers, then she cannot escape anymore. So she holds the powers to her where it is.
But I think before that, Salem was not interested in her at all. They got interested in her in this moment where the rumor came up. Okay, first of all, she knows things. She's in possession of the Spring Maiden in one way. So she was putting a target on her back from a very long time ago. And this is where I'm like, yeah. And on the same side, she's scared and she's trying to do the better good for her tribe. I mean, they were hidden, and that this is like.
Well, she is high. I mean, it's the same reason why she went for the relic now.
But this was just happening because she was already in. But if she wouldn't had put a target on her back beforehand, this would not be it's just like, this is not well thought out, in my opinion.
I think it is okay. We don't have to analyze that too much, because that is just, it was designed that way.
It is just for me, because now they are picturing her also through the talk between Yang and her, that she is actually more scared also for herself and doing, the lengths she goes through.
Yes, that's true. They, Shape Point, they did it always for the tribe. There was always a reason.
Yeah.
And now there's more like a personal level in it, and way more than before.
And then comes this other thing with why would you put a target on her back then? If it's for the greater good, to protect her tribe and everything,
it makes sense to take the power, because she's more powerful and can protect the tribe.
And this would make no sense if she would really be scared for herself, for doing it for her own good.
It is possibly
it's
going
just,
both directions there.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still like the talk between her and Yang and everything. I don't like that it's now they switch again the picture to, we have more and more characters going insane and raging, and now we have not just Lionheart, who is cowardly and just taking care of herself. Now it's Raven too. It's like, okay,
she is not completely cowardly. She is avoiding the fight. But she is very well capable of fighting. We've seen it. I mean, she fights. She truly believes, and she stated that in the past, she truly, deep to the core, believes that Salem cannot be beat. That is the one thing.
For me, the question is, why is she even continuing to fight? Like, why is she
Because she is aware that you cannot beat her in a fight. But you can make sure that she is not winning either. If she's not getting those powers, it just stretches. She is buying time, and having the maiden's powers, having the relics, all of this is buying time for her tribe.
Having the relic.
In this case, not, but I can see why. So, but that's the next step. So she's buying time for her tribe and for herself, maybe hoping that someone will grow to be able to beat Salem. Although I guess she's not thinking that. But she is just buying time. If you cannot win a fight, avoid it. That is exactly what she's doing. She is dodging the fight. But it's not completely out of fear. It is mostly logic. There is fear in, but it is mostly logic and sense of survival.
For me, the most sense of survival is, okay, to get protected. And the protection is there, okay, the others are still alive. Get not just in the shadows. Yeah, it's like Ruby said, okay, work with us, because you are convinced that you cannot win, or that Salem cannot be beaten. But if she would have the thought, maybe something comes up, then get an alliance.
She doesn't think that. Salem is a dragon, and she sees and knows, no matter how many little dogs we send against the dragon, and I'm a little dog, we will never beat this dragon. But if I run around somewhere else and those dogs still attack the dragon will eat those dogs first, one by one, and it's their fault.
Then maybe it will eat me later.
yeah, exactly. And I warned these dogs. She even did warn the others. She will eat you. They're still going. It's their fault. Let yourself be eaten. I will be the last one to be eaten, and my tribe will be the last one. That is the logic.
Having the maiden's power will make her one of the first 4 to be eaten.
Not if Salem doesn't know it, and that's a fact. Salem didn't know it. She was hiding it, and
no,
by logic, she still will not know it, because Cinder should be dead.
But I mean, how they made Manor appeared to be the Spring Maiden. So they were somehow like, this information was spread out that she somehow knows where the Spring Maiden is. This was somehow it got known.
not completely sure about that one. She
they were. I mean, Cinder and the others were showing up in her camp for a reason.
Yeah.
Not because of, well, you are unimportant. So she did something which put her.
Yeah. She
in
did a
risk.
mistake maybe,
Yeah.
or it was known that the old Spring Maiden there. Don't know. Well, there's a thing. There's where you have to think, what do you want? More protection or just completely running away?
I would like, if I'm really like the one who's trying to avoid this and try to run away, I would send the Spring Maiden over to us. He should take care of it. I'm out.
Possibly. Yeah, might have been an option. She didn't take it, whatever.
No.
I think it is better this way because it's more complicated. It would be boring if she would be a one-sided Leo character.
No, that
just
yeah.
running away.
It's
so
just like
she wants power too. She wants to protect her people herself if she's able to, and maybe she did a mistake.
I don't criticize that she has weaknesses and such. I criticize that it's now more looking like, okay, it's her own. That she is afraid only for herself, while the whole build-up was for her tribe.
No, I'm still stating the fear is of Salem. Only her, because she believes she is unbeatable. That is one thing. She is able to beat Cinder. She's able to possibly beat every one of the others of the staff of Salem. She just knows you cannot beat Salem on a long term. That is
this
the
is
thing.
not what I meant.
And so she's avoiding. No, she's avoiding her.
No, the thing is that the talk between her and Yang was pointing out, yeah, you are afraid. You are afraid, and look what you do to get away. This is the thing, what I mean. So this makes it more look like, okay, she's more doing it for herself.
Afraid of Salem. That is the thing. And Yang said it. When Salem comes, I will stand there while you run away. It is all about Salem. Yes, Salem is a general about the Grimm and her people. Sure. But it is about Salem only. She's not running away from Watts and Co.
I don't think we're talking about the same thing here. We're talking, like...
Yes.
Because I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to, okay, why is she doing things? Not because of what she is scared. So, no, okay, I am sacrificing Renor for myself, or do I sacrifice her for the tribe? And in the talk between Yang and her, it looks like, yeah, look, you sacrificed this because you
did not sacrifice her. She was stabbed in the back by Cinder. Holy heck. Yes, it was an option that this happens. And yes, she was pointed out as being the Spring Maiden. So if someone comes for her, then Raven can interfere. So that she's not stabbed in the back. That's the one thing that was about. If no one knows you're the Spring Maiden, they will go for her instead. And then you see what's happening and can interfere, if possible. Because if you... They're backstabbers. I mean, there's no question.
Sure, but I think we agree to disagree.
Yes, I'm just against the fact to state that Raven is a coward. She is none at all. It is not complete fear what it is about. It is about this belief that Salem is unbeatable. That it is. The same belief that Leo had, but Leo was just afraid of everything. He just wanted to live for whatever cost. Raven is kind of similar, but she still protects the tribe. She still is fighting if necessary. There's just the general evil that she's not fighting. The most evil life form in this world cannot be beaten, in her opinion. As I said, I stand by my point with the dogs. I think that is the best thing to explain it. She is the one who wants to be like, my tribe of dogs will be the last one. We will be eaten too, but we will be the last one.
I just have the feeling, okay, there is some sort of missing link which was not well thought out.
So, let's go for other links. Okay, so let's go for the really bad stuff. The whole... we stated the thing underground was the best. The thing in the house above underground was second best, which doesn't mean it was good. The thing outside of the house was definitely the worst. I'm sorry. I really like RWBY. I really like the series, but this last episode and the two before... Wow, there could have been done so much more. So much more.
I can't just repeat what I said before. For me, the biggest issue is it feels so unnatural. So that is that you completely lose the attachment to the story.
Yeah.
That is the biggest point for me there.
Yeah.
No matter how you do it, but you should try to keep it as natural as possible so that you connect to your audience. And it lost the connection for me.
Yes.
That's the thing I have that.
So the evil guys, I will just refer them this way. In the last episodes, were acting not completely, but a lot of stupid. Starting with the thing in the camp that they were agreeing to not kill Raven and the Maiden. Where we had a little bit, we are not sure if we were on the same side there, but that felt to me like the first step where it was just stupid. But later on, like every decision in Haven now.
If it would have followed up, like Cinder going full force on Ruby and losing her mind, this would be
because it was about rage, but it wasn't.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was to be honest, the evil or the villains are on such high ground. And the losses for the good guys were non-existent. That's the thing here. That you had, we talked about it before, the wins were given and they were really gifted. They could have lost so much more. Like they lost, we had the loss of Beacon, we had the loss of Oz, we had the loss of Pura. This was a loss. This they had a victory.
Not to forget Penny.
Yeah, and Penny. And so this victory they had there, it was very hard to get. And this one was like, ta-da!
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Thing is, so if you think about this episode, the last two before, the fight in the house, the evil guys were winning clearly. They whooped their butt. They had won, and then stepped back and let the good guys like revive, you know, in the end they really revived. They revived Weiss. They healed up. They were able to gather themselves again. They were able to group again. And then the half of the evil guys just left. And the other half then was not enough to keep up anymore. So that was the first given win, which was not just by scripting given, like it was later on outside. It was just completely stupid. It was completely stupid.
It was especially, the good guys were already weak. And, you know, like Hazel, Emerald, and Mercury were fit. They were there. And, I mean, Nora and Ren were down. Ruby was weak already. Yang was not there. The only one pretty much on top at that moment was Weiss. And she was already struggling. Yeah. And still, those three, still fit, were not managing to get on top of them after especially Hazel raged and threw around people, knocked down Crow.
Which is, by the way, the next thing. We haven't seen the fight.
No.
They simply didn't show the fight of those three against the others.
You were waiting for it so much and they just thought, we're announcing the attack and never showed the actual thing.
I don't understand that. We heard checkmate, so Weiss and Blake jumping in. We saw them jump in and they cut to underground. And then they cut later on back out and the fight is over. They're standing there completely exhausted. Even Hazel just waiting, you know. And everyone keeping them in check. And there was like, what happened? Why don't you show us? You show us some kind of half fights, but why not that one really?
Not even a half fight. That was just simply, okay, I announced
No, the others before were not completely finished fights either. They were just like...
Like the Crow and Raven thing, still.
Nothing. So... We discussed it last time, right? Mm-hmm. So, once again, we hope that there was like a little talk between Crow and Raven, which would have been the reason...
After the talk, and there was no talk.
Which would have been the reason why they haven't been shown, but no. Crow and Raven went out to fight against each other. This was the one fight that was not shown, and seriously, who wouldn't have wanted to see that one? Those two, definitely.
Yeah.
And then later on, she just popped up when they got the lift down, and he just popped up in the fight against Hazel again. So...
No Watts either.
No Watts... Well, Watts is still not here, so he was out of the complete season now.
It would have still be a good backup for him to be there and get them out.
Yes.
Opportunity not taken there.
So there was a lot that was wrong. So handed wins, but the main... I started with it. I come back to it. The main handed win was the attack on Haven by 6 guys storyline. With a little bit of explosives, which, by the way, made no sense. Why would they blow up? We had this late already. Why would they blow up this tower? they were there with the maiden. There was no reason to blow it up. To distract someone, to what? To cause panic.
Well, they just wanted to keep them in. That was for me the main reason. It was really like there were many things. It was so sad because the whole menagerie storyline was building up to this point, and it was expected. Yeah, White Fang
menagerie comes to the rescue.
Yeah,
yes.
and to really like have this whole storyline to motivate those people and to get rid of this. Yeah, basically racial hate.
Yes.
And to motivate them to be brave and powerful. And in the end, they didn't even have to really fight, because if someone fought back, they were like...
Ilya jumped in for the one guy who raised his gun.
It's like if I would be a person from Menagerie, like all preparing for this fight, and then it's like, why am I even here?
Yeah.
Why did I come?
So, I mean, they even trained them. The 2 or 3 episodes ago, it was about we need weapons, we need to train them so they're capable to fight. This all felt and sounded like they were going against an army in the end.
Yep.
And we discussed it before. Like every time we've seen Adam with the White Fang, he had at least like multiple dozen men with him, except for the throne room. By the way, those guys weren't there either. You mentioned that. So where are all the White Fang members? Why are they not there? That just feels wrong.
And it's right now, the White Fang is not the problem anymore right now. You have those splinter groups, and that's it.
They are wiped out now. It's just, it's sad because they were a cool group. They were really nice.
It was, the whole thing was really unnecessary, to be honest.
Yes.
It was okay. Yeah, now we have the issue in Menagerie solved, that there is no, that it felt more like, we need to get the Faunas on board. Pretty uncomplicated and probably without any injuries, casualties. Like, okay, the White Fang is a thing, but it's, a nuisance for the future story.
Yeah. Well, so, I don't know what's going on. I really don't know. I'm a little bit heartbroken by it. What I can guess is, as strange as it sounds, going out of writing and everything, maybe it's a technical. Maybe they are just with the software they're using since 2 seasons. We have seen no big fights. Maybe they are simply not able to render, program, whatever, fights with multiple hundred characters.
I don't think so. It's rather, I think it's a scheduling thing too, that we talked about it off camera, that the production time, I don't know the production time between one episode and the other, but depending on the time, you don't have it. And it could be that they are on a schedule, especially if I see, they have other projects. I don't know if they have enough people there, if people got changed, and so on and so on. There could be many reasons. And as a scriptwriter on a schedule, you not always have the best ideas in a specific time. They come to you or they don't. And sure, you are a professional. And then that's why I think why the storyline in the vault was good, while the upper one was weak.
Still, even this can cause some smaller plot problems or not enough plots. But this was the major plot of the season.
It could be that they didn't have the time to animate more, actually.
Yes.
But this is not the programming or the
thing. It's a time thing. Yeah, okay. But still, it was called Attack on Haven. I'm sorry. This is just bad. And I'm so sad about the fact that this time I'm the negative one. really am, because I like this series.
I think he is currently having the same disappointment which I had in season 4. I guess that's the same thing.
Season 5 started great.
That's
by the
true.
Way. It was
well,
really good
not
start.
the right start, but like I think 3-4 episodes in. That was when it was where I was really also saying I had high hopes, and the finale is.
Which brings me to another point, because I wanted to go for Relic, and then something just came to my mind. So there was a moment when Adam ran away. Seriously. So one thing, we had this, how did he get his sword back that was kicked out of his hand in the last episode? Next him, how could he escape? The whole place was surrounded by people. And there was, just conveniently, I'm sorry. So, and then Sun and Blake are standing in front of the blown open house. And my first thing was like, someone is moving in the back. Because everything before were still standing people, not moving at all.
Yeah.
Once again, animation. Because inside they were fighting, and why were they moving? Because she has to go in and help.
Yeah.
And help, so they had to be moving and fighting. And that was like, the fact that I really realized that really makes me sad. So Sun is like, I think they need your help. They are fighting in for their life. Yes, maybe I should go in now. And I will not take you with me because you are busy here with nothing because Adam ran away and everyone is already captured. So I will go alone without those hundreds of people which I brought along. And I will do it myself. That was one thing. Then she came in, they won whatever, however they did it. Yang came up. Then there was talking background, blah, 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 blah. Stuff happened outside again. You could see the others escaping. It jumped back in. Blake is now standing in front because she's talking to her parents. She was with Ruby and Weiss before. So she went completely to the front. Talked there with them. Yang is still standing up there, not moving at all. Then later on she moves down and Yang is in front, which means she was standing like a minute alone with the relic in hand on top of this balustrade. And then moves down to have a convenient chat with Crow, hand him the relic. This is the thing we mentioned the last episodes. Only the main character which is in focus now is moving. Everyone else is stuck in place and time. And this is just sad, because that was done better in the past.
Yeah.
So, because that's what I just remembered by thinking about the relic. Because I wanted to talk to her, that I realized that in the scene and was struck about the fact that I realized it. So let's talk relic. Well, it looks like you can rub it, and then is either a djinn appear or Alibaba and the 40.
I think it's interesting that it's a lantern. I would not have expected that. It was called a lantern.
Who called it that?
It was either Osman or Crow, because then we need to bring the lantern to Atlas.
Oh, I thought it was something like contact Atlas, but okay, yes.
It could be, maybe I heard it wrong, but because it was looking like a lantern and it's
glowing. It had no outer part.
No, not a lantern with like an oil lantern.
Just a normal globe, globe in the end. Yes, okay. Well, then it looks like that, yes, but whatever. So they want to bring it to Atlas, which, as you already said, is possibly what the next season is about.
And where the next relic is.
Oh, when she picked up the lantern, Yang broke down and cried, which I found nice. I'm not sure if it was like a backlash from the lantern. I think it was the emotional effect what happened before. So in the moment when she had it there, it was like, we did it, you know, we finished. And I think what came back is the talk with her mother. Because that's always a problem. She did not really talk with her mother in the past. So in these few short moments, she realized that her mother is someone who is not willing to stand on their sides, who is...
The thing is, I think what she mentioned it... Yeah, that too. But she mentioned also that she believed her mother is someone who fights what she believes in. Yes. I mean, I think she still had the hope that her mother would fight for something she believes in, which is a good thing. You know, she believes in the good, and she believes in saving people, and that her mother... And that's why I said why this is pointing so much for me, that it's more about Raven and her cowardness, to say it harshly, because she is not doing that. But yeah, we discussed that already.
It destroys your belief in, I mean, your mother or your father should be someone to look up to, if possible.
I'm not sure why she broke down. I mean, they both were in tears, and it was a very, like... and it seemed like, okay, this was surprising for me that Raven really regrets what she is doing, or that it was a moment of doubt that the things she's doing, or that she is feeling... I think she is feeling like... I'm sorry, I can't do something else. I just can't. Like, you know, I would like to, but something holds her back. Maybe fear. Or...
She still knows that she did mistakes. I mean, no question there. Oh, well, it was an emotional scene for both, so I can see that she broke later on down, which is fitting because she possibly didn't want to show her mother that she is hurt so much. You know, it was they had a face-off of strength to each other, and Yang won. Definitely in this one.
Which was, by the way, directing-wise, that she was walking around Raven like she's on trial. You know, Raven is on trial and she is walking around her and watching her.
The whole scene down there was really good. That was a good scene. More of that, please.
It was also that she broke down at the lantern. That was a symbolism for all of this, for that.
Yeah, that's what I said. They came full circle. They finished retrieving the relic. She has it in hand. And it is this, we did it. It's not only her, it's possibly. She thinks about the others in this. So, looks like a lantern. We don't know what its powers are. It finished with Crow looking into it and it glowing, but that could just have been like an effect to end it.
End it. I think so too.
It could as well be an option to start the next episode with Zhu and go in and they're standing somewhere and he puts the lantern away. You know?
Yeah, we don't know what the power is. We don't know if anyone can use it, if certain people can only use it.
Conveniently, the only one who possibly knows just fell unconscious. But not before saying, you have to bring it to Atlas.
That and Ruby's fall, her fainting. Oh
yes, the fainting was too much. That's why I don't know if you've seen it. What I did was because it was a typical princess is falling down fainting.
I think I had an eye roll moment at that moment.
It was just the fact it was not necessary. I mean, okay, she was exhausted, but it just felt like one of those. Watch me, I'm down. Yeah. That's the problem.
Usually, what a very Ruby moment would be like. And falling to her knees.
Yeah.
And not like.
There was this girlish moment was missing. This is the thing. She normally would have like sat on those knees and on the ass.
Yeah.
This is a specific Japanese sitting version. And then something like, oh, that was exhausting. Something like that.
Yeah.
So this quirky, strange thing and just fell back over and look into the sky more neither. That would have been more fitting. Yeah, there were multiple little things. I'm not sure why. So
out of character.
Salem. So the evil guys wanted to pull back. You could see, which I liked, that Emerald was crying. So I think it was really the moment when she realized that Cinder was not coming to rescue her again. That Cinder, the one she completely trusted and believed in, that
looked up to
exactly, that she was
gone.
Why either dead, defeated, whatever, not coming out of other reasons. She was on her own. Interesting is that Mercury reacted a lot to her there, because Mercury always the mean and the bastard and the I like to kill and I like him to bleed, stuff. There was really a little bit of confusion and kind of concern. So he likes her somehow.
I was expecting her to be actually staying. There is no reason to fall, especially because she and Mercury are fearing Salem too, and it is they did not go there because of Salem and her beliefs, but because of Cinder. And Cinder is not there anymore. There is no reason to stay. I mean, okay, Mercury they would probably not stay right there where they are, but Emerald was emotionally so exhausted, I would say, that I don't think she would be able to.
Well, I think the illusion that she created of Salem was out of this feelings.
Yeah.
So she exploded by feelings. Salem didn't look really like Salem. It was more like a very grotesque, tentacly.
For me, it was more the build-up. This was still the build-up. It became like wobbly, and then it became full-fleshed, obviously oversized. But then the next thing, the horror she sees also in this in Salem.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I think there's a lot of interpretation from Emerald's side in this picture. The negativity that she sees in Salem, and she was able to like flood the whole room with this illusion, so she could
and everyone.
We've seen her do it on 2 people before. The 2 medics that brought out Yang. They brought out Mercury because they had to believe it was a broken leg, and then she stated more on one mind is a stretch. So she improved as well. But
she was also like broken down after that.
She was being carried by Hazel. So and Adam was watching them. What I see as an option is Cinder being gone forever or not, we don't know. We have those two. In my opinion, Mercury is someone who would still possibly go back
I
to
don't think
Salem.
so. He is more the wild card in the sense of he goes there where he thinks he belongs to.
Emerald is very unlikely, but right now she's unconscious. Hazel normally would go back to her, but he knows where Oz is now. So what I think might be an option for the next season, to put those three into a new team. Because Hazel has a good reason, as they showed him now, because he's completely enraged and it's not about logic anymore, to follow Oz. He wants to get a grip on him, and maybe he can get those two to join him. Maybe there would be a new team.
I think the next season is about getting the relic to Atlas.
Yes, and they could follow them.
And well, they will somehow. I guess I would even say that okay, they are going in the background again a little bit more with Hazel showing up now and then, but that it's more Watts and Tyrion probably returning because they are still fit.
Yes.
They're still alive and not exhausted.
Yeah, and finally we have this scene. So as it seems, Raven is visiting her former husband. I'm not sure if they were married, but her man, the father of Yang. I think it is not that she's just flying by watching him to remind herself of past. So possibly she's talking to him.
I think so too, especially after the talk with Yang. I guess the thing is, what I think Raven thought that the others tell her what a horrible mother she was, and when Yang told her those positive things which her father told her about her, she was taken a bit aback and by surprise. And I think that's also the reason why she's now going to him.
Maybe.
And also because partly of this regret, the feeling of, okay...
Maybe it's even this, I just wanted to tell you I'm proud of our daughter. Because I'm pretty sure, I mean, you could see it, she was crying. So she was aware, Raven was aware that her way of acting compared to the one of her daughter, her daughter's is the better one. She is standing for what she believes in. I mean, Raven does as well. She's a braver one, yeah. She said, I am afraid, but I will stand. You are afraid of Salem and her powers, and you choose to evade her, to run, to dodge. And that's why she gave her the relic, because she's aware it is the right choice. Maybe that's...
I could even see that probably, and after she's talking to him, that she's trying to have a retribution, that she's getting back, that she is joining the fight after the talk with
Taeyang. Possibly. It would be nice, but not a fast thing, please. So I don't want her to like snap back.
That's why I said a season.
A season, yes. Especially because there was one major thing in the talk between Yang and her mother, Raven. The fact that she more neither confessed that she killed the other maiden, which was, as it sounded, a young woman. So it was not an old one who was lying in bed and it was like, okay. So, and I can see a part of her reason, but still it was possibly a murder in cold blood. So she trained her and everything.
We don't know under which circumstances she...
Well, Yang stated, I can see it in your face.
I can see it in your face. And when she was asking, did you kill her too? That was to probably to Rose, I would have said.
No, I think
but
it is...
But who else? By two. This thing, did you kill her too? Because the thing is, I can see it in your eyes. Or in your face is already saying, okay, she killed the previous Spring Maiden, but the question, did you kill her too?
I'm not sure. I think that was... we would have to check the position again in the video. I think it was more about if she would kill someone else too. I'm not sure if it was about someone else she killed. Not sure there. Because I'm pretty sure it is not pointing towards Rose. Definitely. That would be too soon. What was strange for me, however, was when Raven left, that she left the body of her girl there. But I think that this is once again more of a lapse of the writers and creators. I think she normally would have taken the body with her.
And I could assume that suddenly next time we would see, if we would ever see that, the body would indeed be gone.
Yeah, so I will not blame that on her, because everything we've seen before, she would be someone to take a tribe member with her to get a proper burial or anything. Okay. Leo. Well, not much of a surprise, right?
And not much to say about it, to be
Yeah.
honest. It is a very yeah, we saw it in the intro that he gets strangled. I was surprised that they did not show anything at all, not even in shadows, that they simply like let it stand there. Yeah, I mean, before that we saw, Hazel is stabbing stuff in his arms and other are being hit in the back, and I mean, they showed how Vice was being pierced.
Yeah.
And I was like, why was that decision? I mean, if I can understand it if you have at least those shadows of everything, and I know that sound is a good choice because everything is made up by your imagination, and it can make it even more horrible.
So you thought more like that you see his shadow and then being pierced.
Yeah.
Through. Yes, it would have been nice. I think they didn't want to show it directly because it would have been a bit too gruesome if he would have been choked. Because choking is not a fast death.
It didn't sound like
nice.
He was just
no,
choked.
he was stabbed.
He was stabbed
with the tentacle spikes, definitely, and twice. He was once, and he was very silently still bleeding, and then she stabbed him. I like the fallback to Salem, the coward. This, I mean, it is fitting. It's like, well, tool was used, tool was useless, kill.
Yeah, and the next thing is he was totally calm about this complete failure.
Yeah, that's strange. But well, we never. She was pretty calm about Tyrion's failure as well, and she played him perfectly to get him.
But she was.
More
she's not completely cool. You know, when you remember when she was talking with Cinder about, did you really kill us? She's not necessarily cool all the time. Yeah.
So, well, let's say that was an interesting last episode. I really hope. I think we are not the only one who are criticizing this episode at the end, and it is not meant to be mean or rude towards Rooster.
Yeah, but
I really like this series, and we have seen a lot of good things in the past.
And if I or we state our opinion, it doesn't mean you need to have the same opinion. If you liked it, it's great. Then go for it. It's good. But like. Everyone has a different opinion, and we can still be all common and.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?
So there is no hate necessary. If you enjoyed it and you liked it a lot, cool. You can leave comments and discuss. This is all great. Be respectful. Be nice, and then all is hunky dory.
That's it. What I hope for is that some of our criticism in positive way goes over to Rooster Teeth. So that they take maybe some of the ideas of the fandom, like how to improve the fights, how to improve the interactions between characters. We've seen good things in the past. There was really a lot of good stuff in the last episodes. We had some surprises. As we said, the whole scene below the ground was awesome. I think there was not like, except for huge swords, which we will say possibly was a boat to some specific series. So apart from that, everything there was cool. So like they, I hope they are growing. You know, they grow on the reflections of the fandom. That would be nice. And then season 6, as soon as it comes out.
No criticism is meant in a harmful or hurtful way.
Yeah.
We just like, guys, we see your potential. We would love to see that, and we love to see this, and just hey, if you want to, you can take it and use it in whatever season and idea is coming up, you know?
Just the thing to, especially for character development, you've done great things in the past for some specific characters. Background stories, just saying Weiss and stuff alike, you know, Weiss, Yang, Blake, they all have interesting background stories. Please don't forget the evil guys have background stories as well, so please don't make them one-sided.
Don't give away win. That is important.
That is the most important thing, yeah. We want to earn our wins. And if I say we, I don't mean we the king. I mean we the fandom, because we are part of Team RWBY.
A full circle back to the beginning of the recording.
I'm so good. I'm glad of that. So this is it for this time. I enjoyed that as always. Seeing that we finished off the season, we will see what comes next. Maybe we'll do some more music reactions. And this is it for this time.
Yeah.
My name is Relax and Panic.
And I am Most Evil Lifeform.
Goodbye and out.
Bye.